Hello and welcome back. We are about to plot the graph of the table of values we formed in the last video. So you can see it. We are plotting x against y. So we need to have both x and y axis. Then I will go ahead and plot the graph and then answer the questions. So let's start. Now we are strictly going to follow the scale. And in the scale, we have 2 cm to 1 unit along x-axis and 4 cm to 5 units along y-axis. Now, I hope you know that if you are using your graph paper, as I have it here, 1 cm we know is from one thick line to the other, and that contains 5 small boxes. That means 2 cm is 10 small boxes, while 4 cm should give us 20 small boxes. So that means that 2 cm for x-axis is 10 small boxes. That's from one thick line to the other. In some graph sheets is 5 small boxes. In some graphs you have from one thick line to the other you have 10 small boxes. That is 2 cm. Okay, so let's move on. Now, let's indicate our points. Let's assume that we use this to represent our 2 cm. Okay. So for this, we can have this as -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. This should be 1, 2, 3. That is for x-axis. This is x-axis, this is y. Then for y-axis, let us take this to be so we're taking this to be our 2 cm. So we are saying that 4 cm is 5 units. So we have 5 here, as 4 cm, this is 2, 2, and then another 2, 2. This should be 10, this should be 15. So we stop there. Now, we are now going back to pick values x-axis, y-axis. So when x is -5, y is 8 positive. So if you are using your graph sheet, it'll be more accurate. But let's see what you can do. So this is 8. Now this is 5, and that means after 5, because 4 small boxes will represent 1, that means 12 boxes will represent 4. So let's check that. We are talking of 8. Let's take it to be here. That is 12 small boxes from 5, making 12 is 3, plus 5 is 8. So we have it here. We mark our first x then. I'm doing this, I'm putting these dotted lines because I'm using the whiteboard. Assuming I'm using the graph board, it will always be there. So let's move on. Minus 4 for x is 2 for y. That 2 should be 8 small boxes. So let's take it to be 4, that's 2. Let's take it to be here. Okay. Then minus 4 is 2. Minus 3 is minus 2. Minus 3 is minus 2. You are coming down. So let's also check this is 1, 2, this is 5. 1. And this is 10. So I think that we don't have up to 10. So minus 3 minus 2. Minus 3 minus 2. Minus 2 should be 8 small boxes. And that is here. You mark your x. Then minus 2 minus 4. Minus 2 minus 4. Minus 4 will give us 16 boxes. So from here to here will give us 20. So 16 minus 2 minus 4. Okay. So that would be this. Very close. Okay, we have this. Then minus 1 also minus 4. Minus 1 minus 4. The same thing. We have this. Then 0 is minus 2. 0 should be minus 2. So minus 2, we take it to be here. That's when x is 0, y is minus 2. When x is 0, y is minus 2. Okay, sorry, I'm making a mistake. When x is 0, y is minus 2. X 0 minus 2. That should be here now. I think it's still the same thing. X 0, y minus 2. Yes. Minus 2 is here, so it's exactly here. Okay. Then, when x is 1, y is 2. That should be here. And when x is 2, y is 8. Then the next thing for us is to join. It's always good to use a French curve, or you can improvise by using a broomstick. But with practice, you can still do it without any problem. So let's see. We join all the points. So this is how it will look like. Then we now try to answer the questions. Values of x when y is equal to 0. And y is equal to 0 along x-axis. So the first one, you check this point. Let us call this A and then B. So we can say that y is equal to 0 at A and B. At A and B. Therefore, x equal to, you check what you have here, and that's will give us maybe, let's say 3.6 for instance, minus 3.6, comma, then check the value you have here, and that should give us about 0.5, comma, 0.5. So that is the answer to the first question. Okay. The second one, we have to find the values of x when y equal to 6. So coming up here, y equal to 6 at, you check where y is equal to 6, and that is 4 small boxes above 5. So let's take it to be here. You trace it to this and stop. Trace it back. Wherever it calls the curve, you come down. Check the value here. Also the same place, the same thing. Check the value here. So at C and D. So you can put your C here and then D here. So that somebody who is marking either your question paper or your sign or your graph book, we know what you are talking about. So we now have x equal to, you check the value here, and from what we are seeing here is about minus 4 point, maybe 4.6 for instance, minus 4.6, comma, and then you come back to D, 1.5. 1.5. As I said earlier, you'll be more accurate when you are using your graph book. Okay, so then we are now talking of value of y when x equal to 1.5. You go to your graph and check where x equal to 1.5, and then this is 1. 1.5 will be around here. Around here, you trace it up. Wherever it is, you trace it up. The moment it touches the curve, you stop, and then come back here to read the value of y. And this is 5, so this should give us about 4.8. About 4.8. So question number 3 now. So we can say that x equal to 1.5 at, let us call this E at E. Therefore, y is equal to 4.8. So that is that. Then finally, minimum value of y. Minimum value of y is this part, this last point. You use your ruler and trace it to y-axis. That is, use your ruler, place it here, make sure there's no mistake, and then you trace it to this. And that should give us about minus 4.9. Minus 4.9. So I'll write the answer here. That's the answer to the last one. Minimum value of y is equal to minus 4.9. That's the final answer to the questions. We started from here and I showed you, so minimum value of y equal to minus 4.9. You can put it at the last thing we had, EF, at F. So you can put your F here to show that that is the last answer you have. So this is how to answer the questions, and then that's the end of the graph. I started with putting down the table of values, then followed by the plotting. I will advise that you copy the question, try it yourself, and then if there's any question, you let me see it in the comment section. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.